Welcome back to the channel Coins Bias, to today's video where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures that might be sitting right inside your pocket change. And today our focus is on one of the most astonishing stories in modern numismatics, the 1998 P Roosevelt Dime, a coin that normally holds just a face value of 10 cents, yet under rare circumstances connected to minting mistakes, striking errors, and mysterious variations in mint marks, its worth has been estimated in the incredible range of up to $68 million, making it one of the most valuable finds collectors could dream of. And while most people never give a second thought to the dimes they carry in their wallets, for coin experts and treasure hunters, this particular year and mint mark combination has opened doors to discussions about how tiny errors can transform a simple piece of change into a multi-million-dollar fortune. And the story begins with the Philadelphia Mint, where millions of Roosevelt dimes were struck in 1998. Coins that circulated widely across the United States as part of everyday transactions, yet tucked away among these ordinary strikes were a handful of examples that carried subtle and sometimes dramatic errors, from double die obverses to off-center strikes, from missing or misplaced mint marks to unusual planchet defects. And these anomalies were not just technical flaws, they became the very reason for their astronomical value, because rarity in numismatics always comes hand in hand with desirability, and desirability drives competitive bidding in the auction world, with collectors chasing uniqueness to crown their collections. And the most famous of these 1998 P dimes is said to carry a mint mark error so unusual that experts argue it could only have happened under extraordinary circumstances, possibly involving a wrong die pair, experimental striking, or misalignment in the die hubs that were not caught during production. And because so few of these error coins slipped into circulation, they became legends, quietly hiding in change jars and bank rolls until sharp-eyed hobbyists noticed something different, sparking a wave of excitement across the coin community. And the reason values can soar into the tens of millions is tied not only to rarity but also to market psychology, because when an item is believed to be one of a kind or nearly impossible to replicate, wealthy collectors and investors are willing to pay extraordinary sums to secure it, transforming what began as a 10-cent piece into a headline-grabbing artifact. And for the 1998 P dime, the law suggests that its mint mark appears either doubled, misplaced, or struck with characteristics inconsistent with normal production, creating a dramatic deviation from what a dime should look like. And if you consider how many coins pass through your hands every year, the idea that one of them could harbor a mistake worth tens of millions adds an air of treasure hunting thrill to the everyday, encouraging more and more people to examine their change carefully. But identifying such a coin is not simple, because many errors are subtle, requiring magnification, expert grading, and authentication from respected numismatic services to confirm their legitimacy. Yet once confirmed, these errors are like golden tickets, instantly transforming a regular dime into a life-changing windfall. And history has shown countless times how error coins, even minor ones, can command thousands, tens of thousands, and sometimes millions at auctions. And in the case of the 1998 P dime, myths and verified accounts blend together to paint a picture of rarity at its peak, with collectors whispering about the possibility that one day another example might surface and shake the entire coin market. And the possibilities that make it so valuable include double die obverse errors where the inscriptions like Liberty or In God We Trust appear doubled, planchet errors where the coin might be struck on the wrong metal or an improperly prepared blank, misaligned die strikes that give the coin an off-center appearance, or even transitional metal compositions that might have occurred due to leftover blanks from previous years. And while not every 1998 P dime is special, the ones that carry such mistakes can transform their owners' lives, reminding us that even in modern coinage where production is heavily automated and quality control is strict, accidents do slip through the cracks. And those accidents are exactly what fuel the dreams of millions of collectors worldwide. And as you hold a dime from this year in your hand, it is impossible not to wonder if it could be one of those ultra-rare pieces, because the difference between 10 cents and $68 million lies in details smaller than the human eye can easily detect. And that is what makes this story so fascinating. Not just the numbers or the potential wealth, but the idea that history, chance, and human error combine to create treasures hidden in plain sight, circulating among us as if they were nothing, until one day someone recognizes their true identity. And that moment of discovery is pure magic in the world of numismatics, driving both seasoned collectors and curious beginners to look more closely at their coins, knowing that the next great find could very well be waiting in their pocket change. And so the tale of the 1998 P dime valued at $68 million stands as both an incredible example of how minting errors can elevate a coin beyond imagination and as a reminder that opportunities for life-changing discoveries are often much closer than we think, waiting patiently for those who take the time to look. World of rare coins and uncover the incredible story behind the 1974 1 dime coin, a coin with a face value of just 10 cents but with certain rare errors and mistakes that have made some examples worth an astonishing $84 million. And this is not just about the ordinary pocket change you might find jingling around in your wallet, but about how a simple-looking Roosevelt dime from 1974 became one of the most sought-after pieces in numismatic history. And as we explore this coin's journey, we'll see how minting errors, misplaced mint marks, striking anomalies, and unusual die variations all combine to create rarity and value far beyond imagination, because collectors know that value is never just about the denomination stamped on the coin but about rarity, condition, history, and mistakes that slipped past the US Mint's strict standards. And in the case of the 1974 dime, these unusual errors have propelled some examples into legendary status, making them worth not pennies or dollars but millions. And the fascinating part of this story is that most people do not even realize such treasures might be sitting undiscovered in old coin jars, in inherited collections, or even circulating quietly until a sharp-eyed collector spots the signs. And when we talk about the 1974 dime, we are really looking at a year where the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints were all producing Roosevelt dimes in huge numbers, billions of them, but within those massive mintages a few rare mistakes slipped through, and it is those mistakes that changed everything, because while a normal 1974 dime is only worth face value in worn condition, errors such as double strikes, off-center strikes, planchette mistakes, and especially rare mint mark errors can turn a common coin into something worth life-changing money. And the most legendary of these is the rumored and documented examples tied to the 1974 dime that have fetched valuations soaring into tens of millions, even reaching the unbelievable $84 million mark. And the reason such coins can reach astronomical worth is because of their unique one-of-a-kind nature, meaning collectors will pay almost any price to secure them. And in coin collecting, scarcity and uniqueness are king, because no one wants what everyone else already has, and the 1974 dime proves this more than any other modern-era coin. Since it looks deceptively ordinary at first glance, yet its errors tell a completely different story, with some examples missing their mint mark entirely, which is extremely rare, while others show doubling in the date or lettering caused by hubbing errors during the striking process. And then there are coins struck on the wrong planchette, for example a dime struck on a quarter planchette or even on a foreign coin blank, mistakes that create bizarre-looking dimes with wrong weights, off sizes, or distorted rims, all of which collectors consider extremely desirable. And when an error is coupled with high-grade preservation, meaning the coin is nearly flawless even after decades, the price can skyrocket. And this is why the 1974 dime stands out, because the combination of rarity, error, and condition makes it almost mythical among coin enthusiasts. And while many people dismiss the idea of a dime being worth millions, the coin market has consistently proven that rare and unusual examples can bring unbelievable amounts at auction, with passionate collectors driving prices ever higher. And the $84 million figure tied to one of these ultra-rare era dimes is a perfect example of how powerful this market can be, because when two or more wealthy collectors desire the same coin, bidding wars erupt and the final hammer price can shatter all expectations. And beyond the financial aspect, the 1974 dime carries historical intrigue as well, being minted in an era when US coinage was transitioning in technology and methods, yet still prone to human oversight and mechanical slip-ups. So each mistake tells a little story about how coins were made in the mid-1970s, and when you hold a 1974 dime with an error, you are not just holding 10 cents, you are holding a piece of history, a snapshot of a moment when something went wrong inside the mint, and that wrong step ended up creating a masterpiece for collectors. And that is why these coins are treasured today, not only because of their monetary value but because they embody the unpredictability of coin production, and the thought that a tiny mistake could transform pocket change into a multi-million-dollar artifact adds an aura of mystery and excitement that keeps collectors hunting, checking every coin they encounter, and wondering if they too might one day stumble upon the next great discovery. And so as we reflect on the incredible journey of the 1974 dime, from ordinary circulation strike to a legendary era worth $84 million, we are reminded that value is not always what it seems, that sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest worth, and that in the world of numismatics, surprises are always waiting, and maybe, just maybe, the next time you look through your spare change you might find a 1974 dime that could change your life forever. Where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and uncover the surprising story behind the 1981 P Roosevelt Dime, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance but is actually surrounded by mystery, errors, and astonishing value that goes far beyond its small face value of just 10 cents, with certain rare examples fetching an unbelievable $89 million due to minting mistakes, rare die varieties, and unique historical circumstances that make this coin one of the most intriguing treasures in modern American numismatics. And before we begin, it is important to remember that coins like this are not just pieces of change in your pocket but miniature time capsules of history, economic evolution, and human error that together create incredible worth for collectors and historians alike. So let us explore why this particular dime stands out so much from the millions produced at the Denver Mint in 1981 and what factors could possibly justify such astronomical value. The Roosevelt Dime series began in 1946 after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, chosen as a tribute to his leadership and his commitment to fighting polio, and by 1981 the dime had already become one of the most familiar pieces of American currency, struck by the millions each year at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But despite this massive production, there are rare instances where something unusual occurs during minting, such as double dies, misaligned strikes, off-center strikes, planchet errors, die cracks, or even wrong mint marks, and it is these anomalies that turn a simple coin into an extraordinary collectible capable of commanding life-changing sums at auctions. The 1981 dime has become famous in coin collecting circles because of reported mint mark errors and striking anomalies, as some coins appear with misplaced or repunched mint marks where the D from Denver looks doubled, shifted, or oddly shaped, creating the impression of an error that is immediately eye-catching for experts and collectors. And in the world of numismatics, these kinds of flaws can create huge demand since they demonstrate the fallibility of the minting process at a time when such errors were becoming increasingly rare due to improved quality control, making any surviving examples even more precious. Beyond the mint mark anomalies, there have been claims of unique planchet errors where the dime was struck on improperly prepared metal blanks, leading to unusual weights, thickness, or coloring, and such physical oddities dramatically increase interest from professional grading companies who authenticate and certify them, ensuring that collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums. Imagine finding one of these coins in circulation and realizing that it is not just worth 10 cents but could be worth millions due to its rarity, historical context, and collector demand, a truly mind-blowing discovery that has fueled countless treasure hunts in pocket change and coin jars across America. The valuation of $89 million attached to a 1981 dime might seem unbelievable, but in the world of coin collecting, extreme rarity combined with high demand can drive prices into surreal territory, as seen with other famous coins like the 1933 Double Eagle or the 1913 Liberty Head Nickel, where only a handful exist and each sale pushes prices higher as wealthy collectors compete to own a piece of history, and the same principle applies here where the legend of a uniquely flawed 1981 dime has taken on a life of its own, transforming it from a mundane coin into a symbol of numismatic fortune. Another factor that contributes to the coin's value is its place in the transitional period of American coinage, as by the early 1980s inflation, changing minting technology, and public awareness of error coins were reshaping the landscape, and thus any unusual coin from this period carries the weight of both historical narrative and collector curiosity, amplifying its financial potential. While millions of 1981 dimes were minted, the possibility of one with a dramatic error, a missing detail, or a misaligned mint mark surviving in high-grade condition makes it a once-in-a-lifetime find, especially if preserved in pristine uncirculated state by accident, tucked away in rolls or sets where it escaped the usual wear and tear of circulation. Meaning that when one finally appears on the market, it sparks bidding wars and astronomical price tags. Collectors are not just buying a piece of metal but a story, a mystery, and a chance to own something no one else can claim, which is why the legend of the $89,1981 dime continues to inspire curiosity and excitement among coin enthusiasts. Even today people search their pocket change with hope of stumbling across a rare error coin, and this dime serves as the ultimate example of why careful examination of every coin is worthwhile, because you never know when a small mint mistake could turn into a life-altering treasure. In conclusion, the 1981 P Roosevelt Dime proves that even the smallest coin can hold incredible stories and unimaginable value, transforming from a simple piece of change into a multi-million-dollar collectible thanks to minting errors, die varieties, mint mark anomalies, and sheer rarity, making it not just a coin but a symbol of hidden wealth waiting to be discovered. And as collectors and historians continue to seek out these numismatic marvels, the legend of the 1981 D dime will only grow stronger, reminding us all that history, error, and luck can combine to turn a humble 10-cent piece into a fortune worth $89 million.